My alarm right now for the last month has been set for 6:54. Yes, I'm one of those weird people that likes to see a weird time. So
that is weird.
6:54.
They usually eat either cereal, or
homemade Fruit Loops.
I try to keep it relatively healthy, but sometimes the cereal that you think is healthy is...
Exactly. Yeah. And I did this even before I had kids in school and stuff too. I just feel way more productive. And to me, the idea of not getting dressed is like super foreign. But then I'm also the girl, you notice I didn't say I made my bed when I got up.
Oh, no. Unless it's Friday night. Friday night, I like to go away.
Yeah, oh, yes. Friday night.
But
I don't cook Friday nights.
No,
we are doing something for
Usually
supper.
I don't. But yeah, I preferred lazy evenings around the house.
Do you remember how to do this?
No.
It feels like
it feels weird for some reason.
It feels familiar but weird at the same time.
Yeah,
so yes, same girl, same place. A few new tweaks and adjustments.
Yeah.
We decided to go big a little bit and make some upgrades, especially with our podcast being on its own YouTube channel now. And we're now on Spotify and iTunes, so you can choose to listen to us however you prefer.
Yeah, on the go.
We're partial to YouTube, right?
Yes, we are.
If you're watching on the YouTube channel, you can see we have a little celebratory charcuterie board complete with September Farm cheese tarts.
Yeah, they're the best. I love September Farm cheese tarts.
And I am not a pumpkin pie girl, but I got one of their pumpkin cheese tarts because pumpkin and cream cheese together is just so good. They need to add chocolate chips in there. Yeah, I feel like that would extra good. And of course, Concord grapes are my favorite food ever. I eat them straight.
Snot.
We'll talk about that in our next episode about canning grape juice and things like that. But today's topic is a super fun one I'm excited to get into. And I did want to say you may notice the new wallpaper, and that is from Wall Blush. They send it to us, and they have a sale going on right now. I'll put their link down below. And we got their Glide wallpaper, and it was peel and stick. Josh actually installed most of it while Jana and I watched.
We tried, and then we took it all back down, and he redid it all.
Yeah, his level of perfection is different from ours. So,
yeah.
Hey, I think it was worth all the hard work. It looks great.
Yeah.
And they do have the traditional option as well, I think, but we did the peel and stick just to add a little interest. So, yeah, I'm excited about the upgrades and the new season. We have lists and lists of things we want to talk about coming up here.
We sure do.
We're not uninspired, that's for sure.
Yeah, stick around.
Also, my clothing collection with Inherit Clothing Co. is live, and so I'm actually wearing head to toe Inherit at the moment. So you can check that out, see what's available. So we thought before we get into each episode this time, we were going to do Homemaker Hot Takes. We would do a little jingle and sing at the beginning, but we promised ourselves we would never do that.
Yes, we made a pact at the very beginning. There will be no singing.
We are very multi-talented women. Singing is not in our bag of tricks.
No, we're like the worst at singing.
The sad thing is all of our talent got stolen from us and put into Joelle, your sister.
My sister.
And she has enough talent for all three of us.
She really does.
Oh, my word. Anyway, so... my homemaking hot take for today, and I think the way we came about these is we'll just see things like on an Instagram reel or hear people talking, or it'll just it'll rub us the wrong way, or else we'll think it's not always like that. There's always like these popular mantras that people are, quoting all the time and stuff. And, sometimes there's the other side of it too. So that's kind of where this is from.
We're going to bring you the other side.
Yeah. So let us know if you have any homemaking hot takes down below. Mine for this episode will be just set the table. It doesn't matter if you have it set exactly properly. I might know how to set knife, fork, spoon, whatever, but I cannot remember it. I cannot retain that information. I do not know why. And so I've never taught my kids to set a table properly. I don't set a table properly. And guess what? It hasn't affected my life.
Yeah.
It really hasn't. I can always Google it if I'm actually having a fancy dinner, and then we're good to go. But the rest of the time, we just get the stuff on the table. My kids set the table. Like, we're lucky if everybody has one fork, one knife, one spoon, all that.
I actually agree with that hot take. Although I do know how to set a table, and I think it is, good information to know. But yeah, on the daily, I'll put a pile of bowls on the table and a pile of spoons, and we'll just kind of spread them out.
Shushle it around.
Yeah, and it's only the four of us. It's fine. My homemaking hot take is duvets and duvet covers are overrated. Use a quilt like the Amish. I have a beautiful white quilt that I got on Amazon. It wasn't even that expensive. It's nice and it'll last for years. You can bleach it when it gets dirty. There's no fitting a big poofy thing into like an oversized pillowcase. Like, I just don't get it. And I love my quilts and I will stand by that.
I don't need to Google a YouTube tutorial to make my bed.
No.
The coverlets and stuff are great, and just do lots of pillows then or something.
Yeah, or not. Like, just have a simple bed. I don't know. I'm over it. I've never had a duvet, and I'm just like, do people actually like that? Like,
I think they like the big puffy look. It looks welcoming. I guess for me too.
I like the clean, sleek look better.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, I also feel like, how do you keep the level of cleanliness where you want it? Like,
yeah, I don't know.
Like, it's so much work to wash them. I would be diabolical with a duvet cover because I would wash it.
So you don't have one either?
I would wash it every like year. I used to have a duvet cover. It was linen. It's beautiful. I still have it, but I never put a filler inside.
Oh. So it was like a blanket, basically.
Yeah.
Or a sheet.
Yeah, I would just wash it when I needed to, right? Like a sheet or something.
Yeah, I've never had one and I will never get one.
I'm not going to say never.
I guess I shouldn't say never.
I like the aesthetics. Sometimes I'll do absolutely stupid things just for pretty.
Yeah, I have no plans.
Well,
I'll stick to my Amish quilts. But it's not an Amish quilt, but like the Amish, a quilt.
Yeah. Well, there's our hot takes. I'm sure you have your own. You probably don't agree, but it was interesting.
Okay.
We kind of agreed with each other's this time.
We did. We need to come up with some that we disagree on.
Yeah. Okay, before we get into today's topic, do we want to just do a little recap if they're only finding us now, just so they know who we are and what's going on?
My name is Jaina. I'm Megan's cousin. We are not sisters, although we are very close. No, I'm just kidding.
We are related in several
I don't know how to
avenues.
We're cousins. Let's just leave it at that for now. I am married to Eric. He is a business owner. He owns auto body repair shops. Why can't I talk? Oh my goodness. I am basically a stay-at-home mom. I have a small little sewing business on the side, but I have 2 boys. They are almost 8 and almost 6. The 8-year-old is in 2nd grade and Finley is in kindergarten part-time. So recently had some major life changes with both of my kids in school. So still adjusting to that, but I'm really enjoying having more time. And Finley is loving school, which is like the biggest answer to prayer. But yeah, it's been a really good fall and I'm excited for a good school year.
I'm Megan. I'm the one with the low, cracky voice. And I have 3 kids with one on the way. They are 6, 4, almost 2, and I'm 20 weeks pregnant at the moment of recording. But we usually do 2 episodes at a time when we record, just mom life. It works best and all the setup and everything. So yeah, you're usually watching these about 2 weeks after we film them. And we're recording in my space, I guess, just because it makes sense. Josh is our sound guy, so he can just kind of like deal with everything here. He did get us new mics, so let us know.
I feel like we've had different mics every
6 times. Well, we were borrowing some, and now we decided to invest in our own.
I didn't know what mics were from
we were trying different things out or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully
these
works.
aren't quite as big as some of the other ones, are they?
No, the other ones are huge.
Yeah,
these are still pretty beefy.
Yeah.
But yes, we live in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, and we are of the Mennonite persuasion, which is just it's just a group of churches that are under the Christian faith. And if you want to know more about Mennonites and how it affects our lives, because it actually impacts our lives in a lot of different ways, we have an entire library of Honey, I'm Homemaker episodes where we talk about Mennonites and money, Mennonites and dating, our weddings and things like that. So yeah, it does color our lives in a lot of different ways. And all of our old podcast episodes are still at home on the Megan Fox Unlocked YouTube channel. You can just go over there and find the Honey, I'm Homemaker playlist, and you can refer to any of the ones that we've already filmed. So have you been reading anything interesting lately? Or I know we always like to plug Scribd. I think there's always a link down below. We love audiobooks and stuff.
Yeah. I just listened to Jill's book. What's it called? Counting the Cost. I was thoroughly... Jill Dillard.
Dillard, yeah.
I really, really enjoyed the book. It was one of those books where I didn't want to turn it off. I was sneaky listening to it whenever I could. She did such a good job writing the book. I really appreciated how she told the truth and talked about the hard things, but also acknowledged the good parts of her story too. And that's something I'm passionate about, is acknowledging the hard and acknowledging the good, and everything woven together is your life. And I just thought she was respectful when she could be and told the truth when she had to, and I felt her pain in the story. I cried. I identified with, you know, her miscarriage and stuff. Like, I just thought it was a really good book. And yeah, I have all positive things to say.
Yeah, it definitely differed. It had a different tone than Ginger's. Ginger's was more theological. And
I love Ginger's too.
And I really recommend Ginger's. Jill's is more like anecdotal stories.
They're just different. Yeah.
I love the beginning. The beginning I loved. She like would just talk about her life and she would have no commentary. She would just say things that happened. And I would like be listening to it while I was working or on a walk or something. I'd be like, wait, what? Like, that's not normal, right? Like, that's crazy, right? But you're not saying that it's crazy. You're just saying how it was.
Yeah.
And like, wow, that's anyway. So I thought the beginning was very clever, the way she had it all. And I'm sure she had her writer help her and everything. I liked how she addressed the Josh stuff. It was not triggering. She did not go into lots of details, I'm sure, for her own self. She doesn't want that recorded. Like, she wants to move on. But I think she did a really good job with that. The ending made me a little sad. Like, I really wish it could have had a happier ending. Which I guess I'm giving spoilers and stuff. But yeah, her family is not 100% reconciled and everything. I'm like, man, that stinks. But, you know, maybe some time and separation.
But her commitment is to her little family and her boys, and she needs to do what's best for them. And, you know, life isn't perfect. And sometimes,
I don't know. Yeah. I haven't literally paid attention to what other people are saying about it. I will say, read the book, skip the documentary or whatever was with Netflix. Is that what it was on?
No, it was on, I think it was on Prime.
Yeah, they made it like it was super snarky.
The tone was just completely different.
Pretty anti-Christian, I would say.
Yeah, they had an agenda. They did.
I still stand behind my not loving that documentary. There was parts of it I liked, but yeah, I did enjoy her book. And yeah, I think it's very vulnerable for anybody to put their life out there in story form because people are going to rip it to shreds. You know, either they're, I don't know. It's just a lot of room for judgment and stuff.
Yeah, it seemed like she felt really strongly about telling her story, and I'm glad she did. And I was blessed by reading the book for sure.
Yeah, so people wanted to know our opinions after reading the Ginger one versus Jill's. And so you can definitely tell they did have a lot of similar growing, like they were sisters.
Yeah, obviously. And I felt like the books go really well together. Like Ginger's explained what their parents believed or what IBLP taught, and then Jill's was more like, well, what happens when you believe those things, when you believe lies that aren't based on scripture? It can really create some really hurtful situations. So I thought the books go really well together.
Yeah, I mean, we could talk about it more, but yeah, go listen to it. I'll put a Scribd link down below. Who's getting the free month by now?
I have no idea.
I don't know, but it's really cool. You can actually recommend Scribd to a friend and they get it for a month for free, and then you might get it for a month for free. I forget how that all works, but you can look into it. I'll put the link down there. And yeah, let us know down below what you're listening to or reading, especially if they're like interesting stories. I feel like those are the best for audiobooks. Like the self-help books, I prefer almost the hard copy, so I can like
hardly ever read hard copy anymore. I'm waiting for Emma's for Mama's new book.
Oh,
the ebook is on Scribd, but the audiobook's not, and I'm waiting for the audiobook.
Her hard copy's so pretty though. But
I should just order it.
I'm reading through it so slowly though, like almost like a devotional. But
yeah, well, that's good too.
Anyway, I want to be a reader and I'm not. I'm more of an audio girl, but that's okay.
It's still reading. You're reading with your ears.
Yeah. Okay, so today's topic is all about our homemaking rhythms. And it's almost like this is going to be a fun one, very unstructured, and we'll just chat about our days. But I think this is a really good one to start the season out with because it will put everything else into perspective that we talk about coming up in the season. You'll kind of know what our life looks like day to day. So I am more of a routine girl. Jaina is not. So everybody's represented here. We'll get all the opinions.
I was thinking about that. So because I don't have a routine or a schedule, I don't make lists, I don't write things down, does that mean that I'm disorganized? Or does that mean that my brain is so organized that I don't need to have like external things to keep me on track? I just know what I'm doing without, I don't know, you tell me, I guess.
Yeah, there we go. Or maybe your life's just so simple and streamlined.
Yes, there is truth to that. My life is very simple. I keep it that way on purpose. I don't like to be busy. I don't thrive on stress. But I don't know. I wouldn't say that I'm a completely disorganized mess either. Like, I feel like my life is in order. It flows pretty well, but I am not one to like do the same thing at the same time every day.
Yeah. So you're going to hear things today that you're going to think, that would never work for me. And other things might sound like a little tempting to try. And I would just encourage you, try it out. Like, we're going to talk today about some things we've tried and hated and some things we've tried and stuck with. And so I think it'll be a good conversation for us all just to think about our days and this whole idea of when you have something that doesn't work, try something new. Don't just wallow in the hard and wallow in evening times are just so rough. You know, shake it up, try something new. Maybe you'll find one little thing that unlocks a whole street of easiness. It's like,
Right.
oh, why didn't I do this sooner?
Right.
So hopefully that episode can be this for you today. And yeah, you'll come away feeling a little bit inspired. So go ahead, Gina. How does your mornings look?
So our mornings, my alarm goes at 6:15, and I usually get up sometime between 6:30 and 6:45. I will shower, comb my hair, like get completely ready for the day. And I'm usually ready to head downstairs. I'm usually not downstairs, but ready to head down when Jack wakes up. He gets up first. And he always gets dressed immediately too. So then we'll go down. I'll get him breakfast. He eats while I pack his lunch, fill up the water bottles. He'll get his backpack packed. And then we usually just like, if Finley's up by then, he'll be up if he goes to school. If he doesn't go to school, sometimes he doesn't get up right away. But they'll play, or we'll snuggle on the sofa or whatever. Or I always start a load of laundry first thing when I come down before I do anything else if I need to do laundry that day. Start laundry. Tidy up the kitchen after I'm done with the lunches, and then it's soon time to go out the door. We walk out to the bus stop, and then the boys are gone for the day, and then that's the morning.
So you're not a morning showerer?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah. And an evening shower.
Oh. I don't trust morning shower people.
I almost always shower in the morning. Like if I'm going to wash my hair, I do it in the morning. If I'm going to shave, I shave my legs every morning. But do you really need to know that? But sometimes I just need a rinse in the evening. So I'll like rinse in the evening or whatever. Just a quick shower.
So
but my everything showers are in the morning.
Oh my word. Yeah. I just definitely shower in the evening, and it's like a whole ritual.
Yeah.
That's funny. But
I get
the thought
that
of
too.
getting out of a hot shower into cold clothing in the morning sounds awful.
But I just like to feel fresh for the day.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. As long as you shower in the evening too. I mean,
most times I do. Like I'm clean. I don't go to bed dirty. If it's a Sunday and I literally did nothing all day, then I might not shower. I might just wash up. But usually I require a rinse at least.
Well, my mornings, I'll give you guys like the times. That way you can judge me and be like, well, I'm more holy because I get up earlier than you and all that.
Okay.
Why is that? It feels like the people that get up earlier must be closer to God or something.
I don't know.
My husband gets up at 5 and goes off to work. And no, I do not pack his lunch or make him breakfast or speak to him or give him a kiss goodbye or anything. He gets out of bed. He covers me up with the extra blanket because I get freezing once he leaves.
Aww.
And like, there's no body heat. And he goes off to work. I've tried the whole getting up with him thing. Neither of us like it. We both like our own. I like my quiet morning. He likes his quiet morning. We're not going to try to intersect them.
I hate when we're up at the same time because Eric doesn't always leave early. Sometimes he is up when I am, and it drives me crazy if he's in my space when I'm getting ready. And I think I annoy him too.
Yeah. I have a friend who gets up every morning and then goes back to sleep again. Mm-mm. Like, I'm like, wow, you are like Superwoman.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's like, she literally only gets up so he doesn't have to make his coffee. And I think that's neat. She's like, but how can you send your husband off to work without saying goodbye? I'm like, I say goodbye the night before. I don't know. Like,
I'm usually, not if he leaves super early, I'm not.
I'm sure nobody that gets up with their husband regrets it.
No.
It's just not us. So
yeah,
there you go. I get up. My alarm right now for the last month has been set for 6:54. Yes, I'm one of those weird people that likes to see a weird time. So
that is weird.
6:54. I roll over, hit my snooze button one time. I sound like a robot, Jada. I sound like a little human robot. Hit my snooze button one time, reach for my phone, click on the Wordle app, and I have to solve my Wordle before the alarm goes. I usually do it in like 2 or 3 minutes. I am one of those people.
You're still doing that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
My sister gets it in 2 or 3 tries. She's always like depressed if it takes her 4. No. I'm just trying to solve it by 6. You know, a lot of times it is 4, sometimes 5. Sometimes I don't make it at all. Whatever. It's just something to like do before I get up. Then I get out of bed and I get up for the day, and so I'm out of bed at like 7 o'clock, and then I get my daughter up around 7:20 for school. I have a first grader. So in that time, I'm just, getting ready. I used to listen to an audio the Bible recap while I got ready, but I'm not doing that this year. So I'll maybe listen to a podcast while I don't know, my brain's hardly functioning in the morning. I have my little section of mom uniforms I wear. I just reach for something. Comb my hair, always get dressed. I just brush over this like it's obvious, but not everybody does this. I get dressed and combed every day before I do anything else.
Same.
That's just like second nature to me. Is that a Mennonite culture thing? I don't know.
Well, I think it is kind of because like we're expected to be.
We look different outside of the home than we look in our home.
So I'm not going to be in sweatpants when I go to, I'm not going to bother going downstairs in sweatpants because if I want to leave the house, I'm going back up. And I have to walk my kids out to the bus stop, which I'm out by a busy road. I want to look presentable then too. So
Exactly. Yeah. And I did this even before I had kids in school and stuff too. I just feel way more productive. And to me, the idea of not getting dressed is like super foreign. But then I'm also the girl. You notice I didn't say I made my bed when I got up.
Oh, no.
I will do that after I get the boys up later. Most days. But anyway, so then I go downstairs and pack my daughter's lunch, and I comb her hair while she's eating her breakfast, and she's off for the day. Then after she gets on the bus, I have my quiet time. I sit by my little chair by the window, and I'll either do a devotional book. Homespun Devotions, the author of that sent me her books, and I really like them. They're pretty short. I'll do that, or else I'll do the SOAP method. I just got done going through Galatians. Now I have to pick a new book of the Bible. But that's when I do my quiet time. Did you mention if you do quiet time?
No, I didn't. And I don't do mine at a set time, but I'm listening to the Dwell app. I'm still doing the chronological in a year. I'm way behind though. So I'm just listening to scripture when it's like the prophets right now. So it's hard to keep my attention on it. I bet. But I often do it like while I'm walking or while I'm doing my kitchen work. But yeah, I don't always I find if I sit down and listen to it, I'm much more prone to wander. But if I'm doing something, I can actually listen a little bit better. But I think I'm going to try something else next year, like an actual devotional book.
And I'm actually an advocate of pick your own adventure. I have 2 different options right now, actually 3, because then I have this women's magazine I'll sometimes go through. But some mornings I feel rushed, so I'm just doing the homespun devotion. Some mornings I really want to write. I just have the itch to I feel like nervous energy maybe or something, and I want to write, so the SOAP method works great then. And so while I love the Bible recap, you did the same thing every day and it kept you on track. I do like the whole choose your own adventure method, and it's really worked for me this year because I can kind of do what I feel like I have time for, and I've been much more faithful that way. So at this point, it's 8:30 in the morning, and I have not done one iota of housework yet.
Oh, and I've done laundry, cleaned up the kitchen. Well, look at me.
And had 2 boys sent off to school.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, so at that point, did you cover your morning? You said, did you talk about your...
Well, I just got the boys off to school. I didn't go any further than that because I feel like every day looks so different for me because some days I'm leaving the house and, doing an activity, shopping, whatnot. Some days I have a chunk of time in the morning where I'm sewing or baking or something like that. And then I'll go to school for the afternoon. Sometimes I have Finley with me. Sometimes I don't. So after Jack leaves for school, my morning does really vary a lot. But the non-negotiables are getting laundry started if I need to. Usually checking on the chickens sometime in there and cleaning up the kitchen. And then after that, I try to sew if I'm going to be home for the majority of the day. In the morning, I will try to get some sewing done on my little robe business. Other than that, it really does look different depending on if Finley's home or if I'm volunteering at school that day or, what's going on.
See. I try to do all my housework, homemaking stuff between 8:30 and 11:30. Sometimes it goes over that, but after I get the boys up, before we even go downstairs, worry about breakfast, any of that, I do give my 1-year-old a warm cup of milk in the morning. He's such a spoiled kid. He gets his warm cup of milk and I get them dressed. And then we kind of blitz through the upstairs, put all the dirty laundry. You're going to find out when we get to the evening portion, but I will go to bed with the house a wreck most of the time. Not a wreck, sorry, but I won't tidy up the whole house as a matter of habit every evening. I just have way more energy in the morning, and I like to have low-level tasks to do in the morning. It does not bother me to be tidying up and getting laundry together and stuff. So anyway, we'll put everything in the wash basket, not just the dirty laundry. We'll put in anything that needs to go downstairs. If I have to, if there's sippy cups scattered around or anything that my daughter, who's such... she's like a little pack rat. She's always bringing arts and crafts upstairs. I'm like, why are these up here? Anyway, they got to go down. So everything that goes downstairs gets thrown in the wash basket. And we take the whole thing down. That's when I'll make my bed and get the boys to tidy my 4-year-old tidies his room. My 1-year-old does not. And then we'll get down and I do a load of laundry every day. You said, do you do a load of laundry every day?
Almost every day, but maybe more every other day.
Okay. I feel like lately we've been going away evenings. Yeah, whenever you go away evenings, there's the laundry.
More laundry. Yeah, I don't do it every day.
Okay. Well, lately I've been doing it about every day. Anyway, I like that method. Just get one load going right off first thing in the morning. And then Fletcher will be right there and I'll just hand him stuff out of the wash basket. Go put this coloring book away or this sippy cup or goodness, my upstairs sounds like a pig pen. But there's always random things. So he'll put those away for me and then I'll do him a little breakfast. What do you do for your kids on breakfast, school mornings for quick breakfast?
Well, do
they eat breakfast?
Yeah. I make them eat breakfast. Jack, I don't know. He's not usually very hungry in the morning, but Finley needs to eat immediately. They usually eat either cereal, or
homemade Fruit Loops.
I try to keep it relatively healthy, but sometimes the cereal that you think is healthy is actually the worst.
Mini wheats sounds healthy. It's the most sugary.
Yeah, and I don't know. But cereal sometimes, or I'll make waffles. I use a mix, but then I like to doctor it up. I'll add extra eggs and maybe some protein powder. And I have like a little mini waffle maker, so it just takes a little bit of time.
You were trying kids' protein shakes. How did that turn out then?
I use the protein powder, but I've been putting it in baked goods and in their waffles. We haven't been drinking it a lot.
I agree. Chugging down a thick drink in the morning thought he would.
We haven't been doing the drinks, but we have been using the powder. But they like the waffles, and then I sneak eggs and extra things in there. Trying to think what else. That's about it. They're pretty simple in the morning. Toast, sometimes toast.
Yeah, I do a lot of parfaits, baked oatmeal, German pancakes, which are a lot of egg, if you know what a German pancake is. Once in a while, we'll do cereal, but that's usually for like Sunday mornings. I rarely ever do cold cereal. I never make eggs first thing in the morning unless I have egg sandwiches in the freezer ready to go. Heat them up in the air fryer. But I'm not about to be sauteing up eggs at 7 in the morning when the boys are still sleeping. And
I would if they wanted it, but they don't. We have eggs for lunch sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, anything in the toaster. Ivani likes bagels and cream cheese, stuff like that. So yeah, we do shake it up, but we'll do the same thing for breakfast for a whole week till it's gone.
Jack really likes yogurt and granola. I forgot about that. I need to get that out again. He doesn't like fruit on it, just yogurt and granola.
Ivani likes her raspberries separate on the side.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway. But if it's strawberries, then you're allowed to mix it in.
Interesting.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
I'm not a shorter order cook, but if you want to assemble it a different way, I guess fine, whatever.
Yeah, as long as it's not extra
work
too much
for
extra
me.
Work.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, then my boys eat. I eat with my boys usually. And do you sit down for breakfast?
No.
I know. I do not sit down for breakfast.
I drink my breakfast. I just have coffee. I don't.
You go. I'm also pregnant, I guess, too. But I try to get protein in the morning.
That's definitely good for you.
Those Starbucks egg bite cup things. I put some cottage cheese, eggs, meat, cheese, or whatever, whisk it all together and put it in the muffin tins, bake it in the oven. Throw spinach in there. My kids ask for spinach in their eggs. It's so funny. So I'll do that sometimes. And that's good for me because there's like protein there. Mm-hmm. But yeah, anyway. So then I try to get my house, like obviously that looks different. Do you have a cleaning routine?
No. Yes. When something's dirty, I clean it. That's my routine.
We are on the same page with this one. Although I'm a little more regimented, like not at all when it comes to cleaning. I literally made myself a pretty printable PDF, like I think I used the Fly Lady system, and at the end of the day, I was like, I don't want the Fly Lady telling me what to clean. I will clean what looks dirty. Thank you.
And the thing is, like, for example, my kitchen floor. Sometimes it needs washed like 3 times in a week, and the next week it might go for a week and a half before it's dirty. So why would I wash it if a week is up and it's not dirty? And if it's dirty 2 days in, I want it to be clean. So I don't know. I just don't like to be restricted about when I'm supposed to be cleaning.
But I have like my designated housework time, I would say from like 8:30 to 11:30. And a majority of that is often cleaning and tidying up and stuff like that. Yeah. Sometimes it's food prep and making food or whatever. I do like to batch cook some stuff sometimes. But most of the time that's a lot of cleaning and house maintenance.
Yeah,
and
I clean every day.
Changing the sheets. And like I think about it the night before. It sounds like I'm just like willy-nilly. I don't just like look around for things to do. I usually have a plan the night before. But like sometimes my plan goes out the window because I open a cupboard and it's just like, I want to burn the house down. Yeah. And I just have to go like clean the cupboard or whatever.
I, on the other hand, am willy-nilly. I don't think about what I'm going to do the next day for the most part. Like if it's in something that's scheduled, then yes. But I don't think, oh, tomorrow I'm going to clean the toilet. I'll get up that day and be like, whoa, this toilet needs cleaned. And then I'll clean it. Like I don't necessarily plan that out.
Oh yeah. See, I'm just like in such a flurry. I'm like a human tornado that I see something that needs done and I'm like, has to happen tomorrow. Like it rarely happens in the exact moment.
I mean, yeah.
Once in a while, if I have some more margin, which we should talk about, creating margin in our lives. But yeah, that's when I do my housework. And I do preschool stuff with my 4-year-old. So that takes some time too. I'll often have that while I'm like, our dishwasher's been broken. I've mentioned that on like every YouTube video for the past month, but it got reinstalled today, a new one. Praise the Lord. But yeah, like while I'm washing dishes, I would often play like letter games with Fletcher or like give him some worksheets or tracing or things like that to do. He loves it. So you said, do you often, if you do errands and stuff, do you like to do them first thing in the morning?
Yeah.
You and Finley go do them first. That's so interesting.
Yeah.
I reward myself. We go, like, this is so interesting because I was listening to the Simple Farmhouse Life podcast, and Francesca Battistelli was talking about staying home. And I'm like, oh, I know that's probably the godliest thing you're a homemaker, stay home, but I love to get out of the house, whether that's just simply going on like a walk or to the library or the produce stand, or there's always something. Like my brain literally tries to think of reasons to go do things, especially in this beautiful fall season and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like my reward for getting all this stuff done. And when I give myself 3 hours, that's like a manageable chunk of time to go flying around and get a bunch of stuff done, hit it hard. And then we go like to a park and I'll work out and the kids will do their skate park stuff or like the different things I mentioned there. We'll go to a produce stand or meet up with friends. And I try to tell Fletcher, work before play, because he always wants to, in the summer it was go swimming or whatever. It's like, no, we got to get the housework done first before we go do the fun things. Library story time. There's like a stroller gang that I haven't gone to that this year, but like you can go on walks on Thursdays, I think it is, with community women, just like different stuff like that. I actually actively look for things and I'll sometimes make a list when I'm feeling inspired of all the things I want to do, just so when I am bored, I can think of those things. Yeah. But I'm making this sound like a really big ordeal, but we do leave the house every day. Sometimes it just means going on a walk. We live right by a walking trail, so it's super easy.
I like to go away too, but I have no problem staying home for an entire day. Now, if it's like 2 or 3 entire days in a row, if I stay, which hasn't happened in a long time, but when my kids were little and they didn't have school and we weren't out and about as much, I would stay home for 3 entire days in a row. And then after that, I was like, okay, time to leave the house. Yeah. But we often did go for walks, and I don't really count that as leaving the house, but it is leaving the house. But yeah, I like a good mix.
I think leaving the home is definitely more of a modern homemaking take, and I feel like it can get some hate, like we should be staying home. But I don't have a homestead. It's not like I have to be, like, there's no field work happening after my housework. It's just my house pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm not outside mucking stalls or anything like that. So
I listened to that podcast too that you were talking about with Simple Farmhouse.
Yes.
And I really agreed with the one thing. One of them said that if you leave the house first thing in the morning, it doesn't matter how long you're gone, when you come back, you're done. It's like, you're done for the rest of the day. Yeah. And that's so true.
So maybe for you, that's why you batch it more and do it all in one day or something. Whereas I'd rather and I live in a very, very nice area where I can drive 3 minutes to everything pretty much. And so it doesn't matter. Like my mom would have her one day that she has to leave the house with her 4 kids or whatever. Yeah. And she would hit everything at once. And we hated it. And like it was tiring and draining.
No, I don't do that.
But she was a farmer. Yeah. She stayed home and then that one day a week. So yeah, you have to kind of know what works for you. But I feel like there's a lot of emphasis lately on like the staying at home part, and I'm saying if that doesn't work for you, it's okay. Like it's fine. Find out what you can do and be productive when you are at home, and just know that when you do leave the house, you are choosing to sacrifice something at home.
Yeah.
And that might be worth it for you.
Yeah. I don't really like to leave before like 9:30. Like I feel like if I have something that I need to be somewhere at 10, I still have plenty of time to get everything I need done in the home before I leave. And then if I am trash when I get back, doesn't matter so much because I already did like the general non-negotiables for the day.
Yeah. So. And I do have little kids, so you might be wondering, what are they doing while I'm doing housework? And I like to mix it up. I don't give my 4-year-old a lot of specific chores because then he gets bored with them and whatever. He always has to water the plants, which that's coming to an end here with the fall season and everything. And like I'll get him to clean the powder room. He loves to clean the bathroom because he gets to spray. Like that's fun. He'll switch over laundry and stuff like that, and he'll do schoolwork. But honestly, my boys, my 1 and 4-year-old, play so well together. They pretty much just stay out of my hair unless I call for them to like empty the dish rack or something when the dishwasher's working or whatever. So that's a blessing that I have for sure. They're not underfoot, and like I'm not doing a lot of hands-on parenting for those 3 hours except for like the preschool and things like that. And if I can tell they're being a little bit more needy or like whatever, maybe I'll grab a book and sit down and quickly read a short one to them or something. But as a whole, that's like my dedicated work time, because now we're getting to our middle section of the day. That's when I am focused on having fun with my boys, and bonus points if it's productive. Bonus points if I'm running errands for Fox Sparrow or getting the groceries for the week or going to pay library fines. Notice I didn't say checking out library books. We're at the phase of, okay, no more library books for any of us because we're paying all these fines. Anyway, we literally just went to the library, paid fines, and left.
Yeah, well, if you can't return them, you might as well not check them out, huh?
Oh my word. Well, I was fed up, but
yeah, we're not big library people either.
But yeah, so I tried after the kids' lunch. We eat anywhere from. I rarely, even though I am on the road over lunch, I don't usually stop for food. We'll eat before we leave, or like in the summer, we always packed a lunch and just took it with us, whatever we were doing. I dread winter. I don't know what we're going to do with this chunk of time in the winter. Maybe more arts and crafts or go to my mom's house or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, that's like my reward. And I enjoy running errands. I enjoy the grocery shopping. All that stuff is fun for me. And so I like to do that after my basic housework. So yeah, if you come to my home, you'll definitely see things that are suffering. It's because I'm not home all day long. And that's a conscious choice that I've made, and my boys are happier for it too. And I feel like it breaks up our day and we get fresh air. I'm all about the fresh air and trying to do the 1,000 hours outdoor thing this year.
That's cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm happy. I really feel like we're in a good routine right now. And I know as soon as we have another baby, it's going to like shake it all up.
Yeah.
When do you do your business work?
It used to be like religiously only during nap time, but now I don't really have nap time anymore. So I usually try to do it, like if I'm going to sew, I usually try to do it in the morning because
that's different.
Yeah. Like if I'm not going away, like between 9 and 11 or something, because if I don't do it then I feel like I'm not as likely to do it, which is different because I used to only ever do it in the afternoons. And now I find like if I don't get in there in the morning and dedicate, I'm just like, I'll do it tomorrow. And then,
but that's like so perfect because you wake up in the morning and all your podcasts dropped overnight or whatever, and now you have all these things to listen to while you're sewing. Oh, that sounds fun. Or listen to the news. You do listen to news, don't you?
Well, like I listen to
like politics,
podcasts. More like pop culture,
girl news. Yeah, girl news. Yeah, I'm all about the girl news.
Sometimes they're talking about people. I'm like, I have no clue who you're talking about, but it feels like we're friends.
But you know what's so funny? Josh will come home and tell me things that happened in the news, and I'll be like, I knew that. Wow, look at me. I'm so smart.
My favorite part of the day, which is probably your favorite part of the day too, nap time. But it's not nap time anymore, but it's that time between like 2:30 and when the bus comes around 3:30. I feel like it's Advent or something. I'm like, I just kind of put all my stuff away, stop what I'm doing, and just relax and chill, listen to a podcast or go hang out on the front porch. I've been doing so much hanging out on the front porch. The one day I was like, it was one of those days where they were both in school. I didn't have much going that day. And I was so bored. And I'm determined not to let that happen as much anymore. I'm still trying to figure out all of this. But I hadn't had enough plan for that day to keep myself busy. And I was bored. And I was on the porch at 1:30 waiting for the bus.
2 hours later.
Okay. I didn't stay out there the whole time. I did find some things to do. But like the majority of that time I was like, I would think of something to do, then I'd go do it, and then I'd end up back on the porch.
Oh,
just
so
hanging
funny.
out. It was a beautiful day. So my favorite time of the day is just like waiting for them to come home and just enjoying that last little bit of alone time, but also like anticipating hearing all about their day and stuff.
Oh, that's fun. I have made some choices and sacrifices in my life, so I don't really get to goof off throughout the day, but I still look forward to nap time. Nap time is like my side hustle time and everything, and I still love it. I have the house to myself. The boys are in their rooms napping. My 4-year-old still takes a nap most days. He will otherwise play independently, but for the most part, I will get him to take a nap, and then sometimes he'll watch Giovanni get off the bus, or we're still trying out different things yet to see what works, but some days I can definitely tell he needs a nap. And my 1-year-old, of course, is napping. And so that's when I do all my YouTube stuff. I make myself an iced latte. I like connect with people in the comments and answer DMs and things like that. And I really enjoy it for the most part. It's like a variety. It's not always the same thing every day. I do a lot of editing. I've been editing on the front porch. It's the perfect time, that 2:30 time to be on the front porch, because it's the warmest part of the day, like with this brisk fall weather and stuff. I feel like although the other day I was curled up in a blanket, I'm like, this is too early for blankets. Anyway, but yeah, I love that time. It's like golden hour. It's wonderful.
Yeah, I love
I think
it.
every mom loves nap time, or like that break in the afternoon, the siesta or whatever. But yeah, that's like my work time, and I won't bore you too much with all those details, but I always think of the nap time tribe when I make my iced coffee in the afternoon. I'm like, how many other moms are out there doing this exact same thing? But yeah, there's no goofing off for me. That's when I like crank things out. And sometimes I feel bad for myself. Like I hear about Jana's cozy afternoons, or like my friends reading their books and stuff like that. And I'm like, I can do that if I want. Like it's a total choice. And I enjoy being busy. I enjoy, like, I'm so glad that YouTube is fun, because I don't think I'd be doing it if it was not fun. It just takes too much time. So I do enjoy it. And yeah, I know both of our stories are reflected in the people that are listening.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of side hustle moms, and there's a lot of unwinding moms at nap time. And I don't think either one is better than another. So yeah, moms unite at 2:30, right?
That's right.
Oh man. So we both just said our favorite time is nap time, not when our husbands come home from work. What does that say about us?
I don't know. I don't think it says anything.
Yeah, I know. Well, I think the other thing is too, Josh is not home at a certain time every day.
Same.
So it's hard to, like.
And also that time of day is just busy. You're trying to get dinner on the table. If you're trying to get out the door for the evening, you have all that going on. The kids are all home running around. They're hungry. I don't know. It's just not the most relaxing time of the day.
It is actually one of my biggest stressful parts of the day, because like I get my kids up from their naps around 5. At least the 1-year-old. And yeah, he's like hungry. I'm like, but we're eating lunch. Josh always gets really annoyed when my 1-year-old doesn't eat supper. And I'll be like, well, because I gave him snacks.
Right.
Because I can't have them hanging on my legs while I'm cooking. But for supper, I love to have like meat thawed and ready for the grill, or have something in the crock pot, or like I will cook once and we'll eat 2 days the same thing or something like that. So I'm not cooking every single day. I didn't even throw that in the mix because I just kind of make that happen. I love the idea once in a great while, like if I have a Green Chef box or I have like a really fun recipe I want to try, I'll actually like pour myself some kombucha, and like Josh is going to be outside mowing and playing with the kids, and I'm going to be like, this is my event, my arts and crafts. I'm making supper.
Yeah.
But that like happens rarely, maybe once a week at the most.
Yeah. I would say I do that once or twice a week too.
When you're like mixing the pasta.
Yeah, when
just,
I actually like cook.
Yeah.
And that usually happens like sometime between after the boys get home from school, because they like to wind down and play together, go outside. Like they don't always we talk, and then they like to go do their own thing. So that's when I'll start dinner then and do cooking or whatever I'm going to do while they play.
I don't like spend tons and tons of time in the kitchen. Contrary to popular belief, you would think like Mennonite moms are always in the kitchen, but like, yeah, I feel like I cook pretty simply, especially when you go read like Half-Baked Harvest recipes and stuff. Like I'm not making the sauce and the crumb and the crust and the this and then that. Like it's pretty basic cooking that like hearty, centered around a meat and a vegetable, and then maybe a side if you're lucky, like mashed potatoes, rice, things like that, sweet potato fries or whatever. And if I'm going to do baking, I do my baking over that time where I say I go away. We don't go away then. We stay home and we bake together. It's like a little arts and crafts project or whatever. But yeah, we eat supper anywhere between 5:30 and 6:30. And I like to squeeze in a walk by myself before it gets too dark. Do you do a lot of productive things in the evening?
Nope, nothing.
Do you prefer going away in the evening or staying home?
Stay home.
Me too, especially in the winter. It's dark
Unless
out.
it's Friday night. Friday night, I like to go away.
Yeah, oh, yes. Friday night.
But
I don't cook Friday nights.
No,
we are doing something for
Usually
supper.
I don't. But yeah, I prefer lazy evenings around the house. I do like tidy in the evenings, and sometimes I'll put a load of wash away. But other than that, I really don't do much in the evenings. We just lounge around, or we'll go for a family walk.
Evening times are like a lot less structured for sure. Sometimes we'll go away. Sometimes we'll be home. But yeah, I like to go outside if I can before it gets dark. And that way Josh is home with the kids and I can just like clear my brain a little bit, because I didn't really get that clear your brain time over nap time. I was like punching things, getting things done. And then the kids go to bed between, I would say, we try to get into bed around 8:30. And then I go shower. My favorite, just love a shower. Watch a YouTube video, brush my teeth, wash my hair like once a week, and crawl into bed. I'm like in bed by 9 o'clock.
Yeah, same. We are too. We put the kids to bed, 8:30. And then if Finley's going to school, like I like to have him in bed by 8 because he's so little.
Yeah,
but yeah,
he's not
8
taking
o'clock,
naps, right? My first grader takes naps some afternoons.
Every now and then, but no, neither of them nap regularly. So 8 o'clock, they're like in bed, ready for bed.
So you have a whole evening yet to yourself, like.
Yeah, and it sounds like we should, but we're just like, we hang out in our bed and we'll like be on our phones or we'll talk or whatever. But
you should tell people about your couch. I think it's kind of genius.
Oh, we haven't used that in so long. I can't remember the last time we listened to a show, but it is genius. We have a huge bedroom. It's really long. And our TV, our screen is on the other side of the room. We can't really see it from our bed. Like, can see it, but it's not. So we have a couch at the end of our bed. And if we're going to watch a show or something, we sit on our couch. And then you don't fall asleep as quick either. Like, if you actually want to watch something, you want to stay awake. But yeah, that's our winter time thing. And we have not done that.
You guys, like, bond over that and everything.
We do. We really love it. But we need to get a good show and start watching something this winter because we have not watched anything all summer. And I miss it.
Oh, yeah, I know. We don't really do that very often. We'll have like a movie night twice a year, and it's always in the winter. Yeah. But yeah, people ask me, how do you have all the energy? It's like I either am on or I'm off. And I turn off at 9 and I get up at 6:54. Anyway, so yeah, hopefully that gives you a little bit of insight into our days, how we structure them. And if something doesn't work, I will try to figure something else out, And obviously, as your kids grow and change, things change too.
Yeah, as soon as you have it figured out.
I think about those moms that are like straddle parenting, that are getting up at night with like babies and then also having teenagers.
Yeah, that would be hard.
That want to stay up late and chat and stuff. I'm like, wow, God just must give them extra energy and like lack of sleep survival or whatever. It's crazy.
That sounds really hard.
It does. Anyway, so I don't know if you guys learned anything or feel inspired to try anything different. But yeah, that's kind of how our days look on a typical homemaking day in the life.
Yeah.
We should do a Sunday in the life of Mennonite homemakers sometime.
Yeah.
There would not be a lot of homemaking in it.
No, there
I'll tell you that much. So it might not make a whole podcast. But yeah, just remember, for Sundays, there are rest days. And so they don't look anything the same.
Nope.
And yeah, Eric works Monday through Friday usually. Is he home on Saturdays some?
Usually he's home or golfing.
Yeah, Josh it's usually house projects or golfing, or I need to run somewhere and I save errands and me and Ivani go do stuff or something. But yeah, Saturdays can look pretty different.
If you have any homemaking hot takes, we'd love to hear them in the comments so we can feel like we're not alone with all our wild out there ideas.
Yeah, thanks so much for being here.
And we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.